Good afternoon, class. In a couple of minutes, we take the attendance and we'll go through the final exam preparation. All right, so we'll take the attendance now. It's only 34 students there.
Professor, I have a quick question.
Yes.
So about the homework assignment, you told to convert the binary to decimal.
Yeah.
So the big one, do we just convert to the binary, multiplying by 2, we have to convert it from the another way.
What another way are you talking
No, like 110000011, like those one.
about? Yeah.
Do we have to just simply convert it to binary, like by multiplying by 2 and the power?
That's for the fraction part. But the exponent part is different.
Yeah, that's
So the first bit is the sign bit, and the next 8 bit is the exponent.
oh, okay. So we have to just, it's basically like a reversal of the previous question, correct?
Yeah. Instead of adding bias 127, you minus it from that exponent. That will be your real exponent.
If we got time, would you mind showing that little bit?
Sure. No problem.
Professor, I also have a question about the homework.
Yeah.
So for question 4, the binary number we've been given only has 31 digits. Was that intentional or was that an error?
I think it's an error. So you can add one more 0 on the right.
Should we add it to the start or the end of the number?
Put it to the end. It'll be
The end?
easier. Yeah. I put it in the chat, so it should be. All right. So the attendance, and then we can have questions. Angel Antunes, are you here?
Yes. Yeah.
Arseni Atalla? Nope. This is officially like last class. Charlie Ben?
Here.
Very good.
Here.
Robert Boese?
Here.
Philip Chen?
Here.
Jimmy Cheng? Jimmy Cheng. No. Elisa Chi.
Here.
John Cubas.
Here.
Dankarabias. No. Jill Diawara. Are you here? Jill? No. Trevor Eckler.
Here.
Jair Estrada. Jair Estrada. No. Praise you, Bunny. Praise you, Bunny. Stephen Pong.
Here.
Christian Garcia Cortez.
Here.
Antonio Indendoli. Antonio Indendoli. Anish Khatka. Anish. Ayush Cole. Ayush Cole. Sudeep Lamachan.
Here.
Matthew.
Sudeep Lamisani present.
I got you. Matthew Lesirona.
Here.
Kenneth Leon.
Here.
Melody Long. Melody Long. Ricardo Lopez.
Here.
Pragati Makani. Pragati Makani. Philip Martinez.
Here.
Jen Maxwell. Jen Maxwell. Presented once in the class. Very good. Sean NG. Nope, never. Siu Liam. NG.
Here.
Scott Nguyen.
Here.
Scott. Got you. Sean Nguyen. Sean.
Here.
Got you. Dung Dylan Pam. Dung Dylan
Here.
Pam. Got you. Ayush Ramani. Ayush Ramani. No. Luis Ramirez. Luis Manuel Ramirez. Eric Rodriguez.
Here.
Eduardo Ruiz.
Here.
Andy Shai. Andy Shai. Young So.
Here.
Dylan Suen.
I think Andy said he's here. No?
Andy Shai here. Okay. Young So. Dylan Suen.
Here.
Dylan here. Okay, good.
Yes, Professor, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Johnny Tran.
Here.
Akash Tyagarajan.
Here.
Nicholas Thomas.
Here.
Jonathan Meladares.
Here.
Jonathan Burgess. Stephen Vesquez.
Here.
Rita Velasco. Jie Cheng Wen. Jie Cheng Wen. Anthony Yu.
Here.
Jiwan Yu.
Here.
Justin Yu.
Here.
Got you. Anybody latecomer?
Yeah, Luis Ramirez.
Last day, last semester of the day, last day of the semester. Who? Luis?
Yeah.
Luis what?
Ramirez.
Where is it, man? Hard to find. What's the last name? Luis what?
Ramirez.
Ramirez. Okay, R.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Professor Jair Estrada is also here.
Jair's wake up. That's
Yeah.
good.
Jair, yes.
Waking up is good. It's hard today to wake up because it's very cloudy. If you're here,
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
huh?
I'm good. Thank you.
So in the Bay Area,
Yep.
okay, it's hard, eh? Hard to wake up. All right, so that's the last day attendance, okay?
Excuse me, Professor. This is Dylan Sewin. Could you please give me permission to record?
I will. So first you have to do participant. And then to find your name. Where? Yep,
Yes.
got your name there. And then allow. Yeah?
Thank
got
you.
it?
Thank
Good.
you.
Very good. All right, so so this is officially the last class. And as I mentioned in the first class, that 3 things you need to take home from my class, at least 3 advice, if not any materials. So the first, that make sure before you graduate, you make some friends. Okay? Very important for your personal and professional life. You need some friend. So make sure you make some new friend if you have not managed to get one, because there's a pandemic and there's no face-to-face class, like in-person class, so it's kind of difficult. But you're in the kind of junior year or maybe the sophomore year, supposed to, then you have more time to do it. And then second advice was learn how to follow an instruction. Very important. Because as I noticed in the quiz, I mentioned even in the last class that do not answer a question that you have not been asked. Like the cache memory, like direct map cache calculation, that problem solving, I did not ask you like how many bits in the cache. Intentionally. I give you only the first part of the question. How do you identify index, offset, and tag? That's it. But some people, they answer that part as well, and none of them got wrong actually. So that's even worse. So do not do that. Be accurate and try to read and focus on your question. What kind of question they ask and what are the answer they're expecting. So sometimes the examiner or tester will get upset if you give them irrelevant answers. Very important. Remember this. It will be helpful for your whole academic and work life. Some people take it
Yes,
seriously.
okay.
Like, okay, some people take it seriously. They said you didn't understand the question, although you did. First part. Sue Lam, Angie, you have any question?
Uh,
No?
yeah.
What is it? Go for it. If you have a question.
I just accidentally turned on my mic. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. No problem. So yeah, remember that the second point. And the third point is, I mentioned that you didn't have a chance for this course, but in the future course, I think you may have a chance to work in a group. So as soon as you get a chance to work in a group project, do it and do it properly. So learning how to work together with other people is very important, because you may be very sharp and very focused on your work, but some other people in your team may be not so. So in real life, when you get a job, it will happen. So some people will be very slow and not responsive to the communication, and even meetings, they may not show up, or they may not do their part at all. So that make you make you upset some sort, but you have to get over that, because that's the real life. I mean, you may not have power to fire that person, remove that person from your group. So it was given by the senior managers or managers on top of you. So you don't have that choice to remove that person or just ignore him. No. So you got to work together somehow. Sometimes you maybe end up doing most of the work, and still their guy's names is there because they're part of your team. So sometimes it's frustrating, but that's the way of life. In work life or your personal life, even when you grow up, get partner or get married, whatever, and get children, it's very hard to get rid of them. So you gotta learn how to work with the other person. Very important. So just remember this, okay? Before you graduate, may be useful for your future endeavor, whatever direction you go to. Start your own startup business, or join in another company, or become a consultant, whatever direction you go to, you need to follow those steps. Very important. All right, so that's enough lecture. Now, anybody has any particular question for any particular topics? I put a PDF on the island. We're going to go through that now. Let's share that. Just go in here. So the document is somewhere. Preparation. So this document, can I see my docs here? We already learned that from the review, but this is the question in a question format. So you like to have that piece of paper, have this question. So this is the advantage and disadvantages of simple single cycle beam simplification. Question is big, but answer is very short. You know that. It's simple. So its advantage is simple. Disadvantage is like some process is you have to wait for the other process to finish, so it's kind of slow. Data path and control examples, single cycle implementation is not used today. Why? Because it's very simple. It doesn't do any good job. And pipelining, NIPS instruction, steps. And what are the different types of pipeline hazard? We learn about those. CPU dependencies, the cycle per second instruction, interrupts and exceptions, examples, traps. We've gone through all this. So you're gonna go through it again if you want to, but I think you have all these answers in the PDF slides. Virtual machine, and also I give you the notes on the OneNote. Baseball, notice protection, and all this short questions. So this is the like a 28 question, not too much. So 28 short questions are here. You will expect maybe how many? 6 of them, or maybe 6. At least 6 questions from this 28. So it's not too much. So learn those with examples. It will be useful to go through. Okay, we've been through all these chapters. It's there, and just go through them. And Sudeep has a question about, what was it? The homework?
About the converting the the decimal about like with the 32-bit, converting like binary 32-bit to the decimal.
Okay. Here we have the example there. I'll go through it again. This. So IEEE 754, single position, 32-bit binary numbers. So convert it to decimal. So here is the number. I mean, if you see like missing one bit here, meaning that maybe I forgot to count properly or whatever, but it's supposed to be total. Total actually is supposed to be 32-bit from the sign bit. Should be 32-bit. So first bit is a sign bit. If it is 0, then it's a positive number. If it is 1, then a negative number. Period. And then next 8 bit for 32-bit binary numbers, next 8 bit is your exponent. But actually that exclude the bias. So whatever numbers, yeah. Somebody asking a question?
No, about the 127.
Yeah, that's the bias.
Okay.
So whatever decimal number it comes to convert this first 8 bit, and then you minus the 127. So that's the bias. That's a constant. So whatever comes here, I think it's come 132 minus 127, it's fine. So that's your actual exponent. That's 2 to the power that will be. And then after 10th digits, from this is 9th, and then from the 10th digits onwards, up to 20, up to like 23 bit, whatever, up to 32 bit, the last one. So 23, whatever digit left, you convert them to decimal. How? You start the first digit times 2 to the power minus 1 plus second digit times 2 to the power minus 2 plus third digit times 2 to the power minus 3 plus fourth digit times 2 to the power minus 4, so on, whatever digit you have. And you evaluate those exponential numbers 2 to the power whatever it comes. And that will be your, in this format, when you have this scientific notation, minus 1 to the power 0 times, and the parenthesis 1 plus, that will be the, whatever the fraction part gives you after the calculation. So there will be 1 plus that times 2 to the power exponent. That's 5 in this case. In this case, it's 5 to the power 5. And then just work it out, whatever it comes. So minus something to the power 0, whatever to the power 0 is 1, so it doesn't matter. And you times that, it doesn't matter, it's still same, 1 times whatever. Then you just do 1 plus the calculation results, whatever you got, 1 plus whatever times 2 to the power 5. In this case, it becomes 45. I know this is, but you can work it out and you'll get this. Any questions about this? That's actually easier than converting from decimal to binary IEEE format, because you have to deal with the decimal part. Integer part is easy, but decimal part sometimes hectic. If you have to do a lot of times 2, times 2, times 2. But the IEEE format, 32-bit format 2 decimal, I think is easier. Other than the calculation for the fraction part, or significant part. So that fraction part is called also significant or Mantissa. Remember that. It's got 3 names. Fraction part has 3 names: Mantissa, significant, and fraction. Any question whatsoever from anybody? Because this is very crucial to problem. that you need to learn, and definitely it will be in the final exam. So it's definite. If you have any doubt, let me know now instead of struggling later on. It's too late now. Will be. After today will be too late. So if you still have any question, please feel free to ask. And I need to remind you for the course evaluation, please do the course evaluation for this course. I think we still have time. So once we finish the class, you can do this. You don't take like a few minutes. You don't have to be like that thorough, but just give your comments and experience with this course. And it comes back to me, I can read it, but it's anonymous, so I don't know who wrote what, but then I can prepare myself to be a better teacher. So my goal is to be a best teacher ever. And I love teaching, that's why I'm here. It's not for the money. Money is very little. So any questions, just feel free to ask. We have the whole class today. We still have like 45 minutes.
Professor?
Yep.
I had a question. We, in the beginning of the semester, went over like coding a little bit. We touched upon like some keywords that are important when it comes to coding, like how to print things. I was wondering if we could review that. I don't know if that's going to be on the exam, but I know that at least for me, I'm still really rusty on that.
You're talking about the Logisim?
Yes,
No,
I believe so.
No, not Logisim. No, Logisim is for the
The
logic
cues? No.
gates.
I think she means the QD spin and
Yeah,
stuff
the
like that.
Uh-huh.
Programming.
Yeah.
For the assembly, like yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so that will be not in the final exam. I think that part is for the other. We finished that part, but again, certainly mention, go through those slides that we had, that how do you do stuff, how do you print integer, how do you print a string. You're talking about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, sorry, the exam will just cover the new topics that we covered, not like everything that we've done.
No, not everything. It's not comprehensive. So that's
Okay.
make your life easier.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I have so many classes. I get confused what exam is what. So,
Yeah,
but
exam
thank
is,
you.
yes, I already gave you the instruction for this
Yeah.
short format in the island. Okay, this is the
Yeah, thank you.
this is the PDF I gave you already. So list of questions is there, answers in the PDF. If not, some of them definition in the PDF, but it is in the I gave you the OneNote. This some of the definition I put it here somewhere. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably the other section here, I think. Yeah, this is the definition I gave you already for those final chapters, all those here. I think if you don't, I mean, it's in the book. If you don't have the book, then I think you should have the PDF. I put it on the line. And then this is the definition. You can take notes now if you're missing. And you need to study those. And the exam is open book, closed book, and no materials, no cheat sheet, nothing. In the first part, like in the midterm, I allow you to use that green sheet, but this part, nothing. No, nothing.
We
You
can
need.
a meme like the green seed also.
No, you don't need green sheet.
Oh, okay.
There is no question using green sheet at all. So the question for the calculation part, like mathematical, is only two. Two types. One is for the cash, the direct cash calculation stuff, and then the second is the floating point calculation that we just talked about, converting from decimal to IEEE 754 32-bit format, or from 32-bit format to decimal, converting back to decimal. So basically three kinds of mathematical problem we need to solve. And the rest is definition. pipelining, and all this pipeline hazard. Those are important too. So all that I put it on the list of the questions that you have here. So nothing will be outside of this. So that's very short syllabus I gave you. So nothing will be outside of these questions. Okay, that's probably easy enough to get 100%. So my goal is to give all of you 100% in the final exam, unless you mess up with yourself. You don't focus at all. So study these questions, not too much actually, and then prepare for your final. So the definition of those, as I mentioned, I put it here, some of them, and pipelining also. I have a lot. So
Professor, is this file accessible to us or not?
no, I think this is I didn't put it on the iLearn.
Oh,
But this
okay.
is from the book, though. I didn't make it up. It's from the book. I just copied it.
Oh, okay.
The PDF book, you should have it. Is there, or even Google it for those definitions. As long as have those list of those questions, you can find it. Answer. I mean, if you have not done it, should have done it, then do it now. Like that's why I give you the list of the questions, so you can find the answers to those questions. You can find the answer on Google or even on PDF or in the book. Anywhere, you can just learn it. It's all there. It's all common thing. So that's important. And I think we should talk about the pipeline a little bit. What is this pipeline hazard? So you understand the concept of pipelining, isn't it? Did you? Or any question there? The cache. That's the pipeline.
Could we maybe go over it again?
Yeah, we can.
Thank you.
Okay. Go up too high. This is the steps in MIPS instruction. I think you have a question there. So this is the 5 steps, the fetch instruction, this IF they call it, and read the registers while decoding. So it's decoding phase. Execute the operation or calculate an address, access an operand in data memory, and then write the results into the register. So that's the 5 steps in MIPS instruction. You have that. And why jumps? There's a gap there. An implementation technique in which multiple instructions are overlapped in execution, not like an assembly line. That's pipelining definition. So pipelining basically is very easy to understand because the example that we have for the washing, drying, folding, and put it in the rack, the clothes, laundry stuff. So that's very easy to understand and grab the concept. So pipelining is basically the efficient way to use your resources. That's all it is. Efficient way to use your resources. So if you have, the example was there, like if you have like 4 lots of clothes, let's say you have towels, you have shirts, and you have pants, and you have maybe other maybe jackets. So there are 4 types of clothes. You don't want to mix up because let's say you have plenty of people, like a hotel situation. Think about it. Hotel has different items and have plenty of them. So if you wash them using the pipelining technique, and you have only 1 washer and 1 dryer, no more than that. So if you have that only 1 washer and 1 dryer, then what do? Without using the pipelining, like if you're like somebody at home doesn't use their brain, what they will do? They'll take a lot and put it in the washer and sit there for half hour to wash it, and then put it on the dryer, and then sit there another half hour to dry it, and then they spend another half hour to fold it, and then maybe another 10 minutes to go to put it on the rack. Whatever the storage they have for keeping the clothes. So that would be a pretty dumb idea to just do one and wet and dry one and wet and fold and put it there. Instead, fresh lot you put it in the washer and then you have to wait 30 minutes. There's no way you can do any efficient way because you have not have any clothes to dry. So you have no choice until the washing finish. Then you can put it on the dryer. So as soon as you put the first lot in the dryer, then the second lot you can put in the washer. That's the pipelining method. That's the pipelining method. So basically using your resources efficiently. So same thing happened in MIPS implementation, that the technique that you use, you do all sorts of calculations, so different kind of instructions comes in, and different kind of instruction needs different kind of resources. ALU, especially for the arithmetic logic unit. So different kind of resources. So if some instruction is waiting for other data to calculate, then you have to wait for that. So the processor will be like sitting there waiting for that. Instead, you can actually pass another instruction and do something else while you're waiting for the first instruction and data from the other instruction. So that's the mainly concept about pipelining. And I think it's John Pepper. Then we have all sorts of hazard, the structural hazard and control hazard, data hazards. All these definitions, 3 kinds of hazard, because it seems like it should be smooth, but it's not. Sometimes it's not, because when a planned instruction cannot execute in the proper clock cycle, because the hazard does not support the combination of instructions that are set to execute. So basically, structural hazard is basically hardware hazard, like the actual resource is not there, but you need them. It's not there, but you need them. So that kind of hazard is structural. And then you have the data hazard, when the instruction cannot execute in the proper life cycle because data that is needed to execute the instruction is not yet available. So you want to get results from adding up or doing a division from another part, and then use that results like a remainder to do something. For example, like we have when you convert from decimal to binary, you divide by 2 and you keep the remainder. Until you finish that division, you cannot have your binary numbers. So unless you have the binary numbers, you cannot do other processes. So you need to wait until it finish all calculation of the binary remainder calculation. So that's kind of data hazards. And then you have the control hazard. When the instruction cannot execute in the proper pipeline clock cycle because the instruction that was paged, like loaded, that is the flow of instruction addresses is not what the pipeline expected. So you're expecting some results from some other calculation, but it is not coming. It's something else came, but you can't do anything with that. So you have to wait. That kind of hazard is control hazard. So that's very important on these 3 hazards, and you may expect some of them, some question from there, probably. And then we have the other chapter, the exception and interrupt. An unscheduled event, the program that disrupts the program execution used to detect overflow. So that's exception. It's called exception. And the interrupts is exceptional, an exception that comes from outside of the process. So the exception is the internal events, and the interrupt is the external events. So maybe keyboard or some other not working properly, not sending the signals. So microphone or something. So that's some interrupts. And then you have vectored interrupt, and interrupt for which the address to which control is transferred to determine by the cause of the exception. And then you have this imprecise interrupt and exception. I think you don't have those on the question list, so don't worry too much. Precise interrupt and exceptions. And here's some example for the I think the cache calculation is showed you yesterday. That's there. And then we have this static map. Definition and the virtual memory. Yeah, the virtual memory question is also here. So you can take notes if you don't have already done so. The virtual memory, a technique that uses main memory as a cache or secondary storage. So they use main memory as a cache and secondary storage as virtual memory. Physical address and address in main memory. That's it. Address in memory, they call it physical address. Virtual address, an address that corresponds to a location to a virtual space and is translated by address mapping to a physical address when memory is accessed. So that's the virtual address. Not real, but virtual. Then you have base port, and even that occurs when an access space is not present in the main memory. So that's another, and that's the definition for those virtual memory chapter. And then, of course, direct map. We have this. Cache structure in which each memory location is mapped to exactly one location in the cache. That's a direct map. That's what we did the calculation, all this mathematical solution for only direct map cache. We didn't do any other set associative or full associative. So don't worry about that for the exam. Tag, a field is a table used for a memory hierarchy that contains the address information required to identify whether the associated block in the hierarchy corresponds to the requested word. So that's the tag. That's what we calculate after we calculate the index and offset. And then we deduct those from 32-bit, and then we get the tag. And then we have a valid bit that when we calculate like total number of bits in the cache, we use valid bit 1. This a field in the tables of the memory hierarchy that indicates that the associated block in the hierarchy contains valid data. Which is valid data, then is 1, so that's the valid bit. And then I have set associative cache, a cache that has a fixed number of locations where each block can be placed. So whatever cache has the number of blocks, same number of blocks in the main memory correspond to that direct set associative. Full associative, a cache structure in which a block can be placed in any location in the cache. So if you want to copy this, copy it. It's in the book. So any question from anything, any chapter. So only chapter 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 4 chapters we talk about. One chapter basically is pipelining and mapping, and the other chapter is floating point. Just 3 chapters, and the interrupts and exceptions, pretty small chapter. Very small syllabus. You should get 100%. If you're serious, you still have like almost a week, I think. So focus now, if you have not done so, and get good grades, because this is a foundational course for you to use this as a prerequisite for the advanced courses. And this is core course for computer science. If you can pass this course, you will not be graduating. For sure. This is very important.
Professor,
Yep.
do you know yet how many questions you're going to be on the final?
Yes. 20.
Okay.
In short. So we have, how many? We have 30 points, isn't it, in the test? Yeah, it's like probably 10 questions, but each has like A, B, like that. Short, like, okay, what is the definition of set associative cache? Maybe 1 point. And then maybe we have a problem on the direct map cache problem solving, a mathematical thing. Maybe 2 points. So it's all 3. So 10 times 3, 30. That's how it will be. A, B, A, B. Of course, some of them will be just 2 short questions, maybe. And some of them with examples, some of them with problem solving from floating point or from direct map cache. Are we clear?
Yep, sounds good.
Anybody has any question that not clear or we clarify anything? And if you have not submitted your all assignments, you should do so by now. End of this week, I think. I will finalize it before the final exam. I'll finalize everything. All the assignments in red. After that, I'll not look at it anymore. So end of this week, please submit all your assignment. Even if you're late, you may lose some points, but still it's worth it to do it. See, I don't like to fail students. I don't like it. I don't like to see my student get F grade, or even C minus. I hate it. But if you don't do anything, don't follow the instruction, what can I do? It makes me very sad if I see that my students getting F or C minus. Those grades are useless, isn't it? Even D, not good. You can't even use it for prerequisite. I think the way I ran the course is make your life very simple and very easy if you follow the class and the instruction. The course could be very complicated and course could be hard to get good grades, but I make it easy for you because I want you to understand. all this.
Professor.
Yep.
So on the assignment 4, I think I did like little bad. Like, is it okay if I redo and submit it too?
You still have time?
No, I already get it, but like I get
No,
like
no, is it over? The deadline is over?
the deadline is over. I already submit and I get the grade F. So is it okay if I redo and submit it to you again?
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, do it. If you think it's a mistake, then do it.
Yeah, I get some mistakes. So
Do it now. That's
Okay.
chance. You still have chance to do it. All the assignments, make sure you submitted all of them. Because assignment is the easiest things to get points and 100%. Because it's open book. You can get help from many other resources. I'm not going to see that. So why not you use that? Even if you don't understand it, you should discuss and consult with your classmates. Some of them are pretty good. So discuss with them and get help from them. It's not It's not a shame that you didn't get it and you ask some of your classmates. It's not a shame. It's okay. You're supposed to learn from each other and help each other to do well. So, but not in the exam time. So please submit all your assignment if you have not done so. I'll look at it, final look for each assignment and see, and I will grade it, even if we're late. You may lose some points, but not too much. I'm not that harsh. Any other questions? So, Rita, you still want to understand that programming?
Oh no, it's okay. If it's not going to be on the exam, then I'll focus more on the newer thing.
Yeah, make more sense.
Yeah, I feel like my brain power needs to focus on the priorities right now.
No, I mean, you can look at it even after the exam.
Mhm.
If you are interested, because those you're not supposed to memorize those. This programming, so you know that programming is the syntax. So print something on the screen, you have to do this, load one to the V register or something, and then do some command, whatever. I can't even remember those. I mean, if I look at it, then I remember. I'm not memorizing those. Why should I? So, but you need to understand how to do it. So we practice some, and if you look back, you should be able to understand it better after the final exam because you've already done this course. So in real life, I think if you become a computer engineer, then you do the assembly programming stuff, but otherwise you will not use it. You'll be doing, of course, programming in C++ or Python or Java, but not assembly, unless you go for the computer engineering or you do some embedded programming. Embedded programming, sometimes you may need to use assembly language. MIPS, not MIPS, maybe some other language. So, yeah, I mean, you always can learn that. So now you have the foundation that how the CPU and memory things works. Then you can go deeper if you're interested. You can learn more and take more courses. So I strongly suggest that if you're interested, follow your heart to become a computer engineer or programming in assembly language. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Because not a lot of people can do it. So you may have a demand. So my suggestion is don't just rely on the university courses they offer. Go beyond that. You should take courses from the online platform like Udemy or Coursera or Udacity or edX, whatever resources you can get and learn from them and go deeper, be expert, that area you're interested in. So that's my suggestion, okay? See, you have a lot of opportunity to learn a lot more deeper level. In our time, it was not there. Now the YouTube and this online platform gives you a opportunity actually to learn whatever you want, basically. Whatever you want. There's no restriction. You don't have to go MIT or Harvard or Stanford or Berkeley to learn advanced level of stuff. It's all there, out there. You can buy books, you can watch videos, you can have examples and take online courses. Yeah.
Professor, sorry to repeat the same question again, but yeah. So about the size of the tag memory, you know, like if you ask the question like what's the size of the tag memory, like how many bits are there in cache?
Yeah.
Then like I mean, how are we supposed to do like I was a little bit
I told
confused.
you, you get the number of blocks times parenthesis 32 plus 1 plus tag parenthesis. So what does it mean? So this is here, I think. We have we have this offset. So this have calculated the offset, log of size of block, not number of blocks. An index is log of number of blocks. Here, cache size divided by block size, that's number of blocks. Okay, and you use that to calculate the number of bits. Okay, so it's here, I showed you the other day probably.
So Professor, so if my tag is 16, then it is like 1024, and then multiply by 16 plus 1 plus 32.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
But not 1024 all the time. It depends on the question. So you divide the cache size divided by number of size of the block. Whatever result you get, you use that. In this case, in this example, if you see on the screen, are you seeing on the screen? No. Let me share. This one. In this case, total bits is 2048 times 1 plus 19 plus 32. Here tag is 19. So this is it. Not always 1024.
So how you get that 2048?
Here, you divide cache size divided by size of the block. When you calculate index, here, 8 KB divided by 4 KB.
I
When you
think
do that,
I think he might be confused that maybe it's like he doesn't know that everything is in binary and memory. So if it's two, when you divide, you get 2 KB, I believe. 2 KB
KB.
is equivalent to 2 times 1048, and 1
Yeah.
KB is equal to 1048.
yeah. So it's not 1000, and it's 1024.
I
I
mean,
see.
2 KB is 1000.
2048.
Yeah.
2048. So it's like that. So so how do you do this division? You have to make this kilobyte to byte.
Oh yeah, this
Because-
one I know. Like
Yeah, bottom is the byte. So you have to make it byte, then you divide.
yeah, that's like 2 to the power 10 times 2 to the power 3 over 2 to the power 2.
So you got 2 KB, and 2 KB is 2 to the power, actually 2 times 10 to the power, 2 to the power 10. So this is, and that's 2 to the 11. So that's why I said, see here, how you get 2 to the 11, because 1 KB is 2 to the power. Electronic. Maybe it's in the back. So basically, I had some connection issues, so I think we get it back now. So here is the workout, like how we got 2 to the power 11. You see that 2 KB is 2 times 1024 byte, and then 2 we can write 2 to the power 1. You can imagine it's 1 times 2 to the power 10. The 1024 we can write 2 to the power 10. Then you have base same, so we can add power like 11, 10 plus 1 is 11 to the power 11. That's how we got 2 to the power 11 here. Clear, Sudeep? Sudeep,
Yes, Professor. Yeah.
make sure you understand clearly like how this mathematics work. Log stuff. It's not very difficult. You need to focus.
So I think I make this one mistake on my homework assignment. So
The division? How do you
no,
divide?
about the about the number of the size of the tag memory.
Oh, I see. Cache, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so use that formula like number of blocks, not size of the block. Number of blocks times your 32 plus 1 plus tag. So you got it here. 1 is the valid bit plus tag plus 32. Then you times with the 2048 and you get this number, whatever number it comes in your calculation. And we have some more examples here too. So you see the 4KB and 4B again, and then offset is log of block size, index is log of cache size divided by block size. That means number of blocks, basically. Tag is 32 minus index minus offset. And then there's another example there. Here, 8 KB and 64 byte. So 8 KB, you make it a byte, and then you do the division with 64. And then you end up with having 128. That's 2 to the power 7, and 7 log 2. That's 7. So this is how you get the index. And from the index, it's easy to get tag. 32 minus index minus offset. That's the tag. Any question? Scan. All right, so are we good? Or have any doubt in anything? Are we clear? What are you expecting? You are expecting short questions and also the problem solving questions for cache memory, direct map cache, and floating point numbers, IEEE 754 32-bit format, to decimal, or from decimal number to IEEE 754 32-bit binary format. Okay. What is the process from decimal to IEEE format? Number one, step one, you do this conversion to binary, the integer part, you divide by 2 or use the chart, you convert to binary. And then the decimal part, after the decimal point, you times by 2 and you take the integer part as a kind of a remainder on the other line, and then you take the decimal part again, fraction part again, and times by 2. Keep doing that until you see a pattern. And then you take the 23 bits, just add the pattern, and then you put together. The step 2 is put together all these binary numbers. And then you move the decimal point to the left, leave 1 digit on the left before the decimal point. And how many digits you move, you write that times 2 to the power that. And that's your exponent. But that's not the final exponent. Final exponent will be from that, you minus 127, the bias, and sorry, plus. And that will be your real exponent in decimal. So then you have to convert that into binary. So now you got the sign bit, you put a 0, if it is positive. And then you put the 8 bit of that exponent that you got right now. And then for the fraction bit, and then you get all this fraction bit after the 8 bit, up to 23 bits. So that's your IEEE 754 32-bit binary format, floating point numbers. Okay, so that's the decimal to binary conversion. And then converting IEEE 754 format to decimal is actually easier. So what do you do? First, you take it as a sign bit and then count next 8 bits and convert that into decimal. And then you minus the bias. And that will be your actual exponent. And then for the fraction part, you just start with the first digit times 2 to the power minus 1 plus second digit times 2 to the power minus 2 plus third digit times 2 to the power minus 3 and so on. And then calculate that, whatever figure you get. And then you use the scientific notation format like minus 1 to the power 0 times 1 plus that fraction bit results, and then parentheses, and then times 2 to the power exponent, whatever exponent you have. And you work it out, whatever you get, that will be your decimal number. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Very good. Anybody still have any doubt? Please feel free to ask. We still have 8 minutes. If you have no question, then I will conclude this class and the semester here. And thank you so much for attending and being with me and try to learn together.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yes?
Is it okay if I talk to you after class?
Sure, I will email you that we can have test tomorrow. Yeah?
One more time, please.
Yeah, we can have your whatever missing midterm tomorrow.
Right.
I'll email you.
Okay, thank you.
And you do it and send it back.
All right, thank you.
Okay? But yeah.
So for
Yeah.
the exam on the 15th, we just log into the Zoom at 2:45.
Correct. So that's another thing you need to be reminded yourself that it's not 3:30, so it's 2:45.
Okay,
So the
thanks.
Final exam, yeah, very good point, Nicholas. Final exam, according to the university calendar, it starts from 2:45, and you have 2 hours, so you have sufficient time, don't worry too much. Don't rush. 2 hours is a long time, so you can do it slowly. And so that's very important that you show up at 2:45 online. I learned, and I'll put the question up and you can work on it. Make sure your camera is working.
18, 19, 20, 10, 22.
Yeah, before that, make sure that your camera is working.
Professor.
Yeah.
So to calculate the tag, like we just have to 32 minus whatever the offset we got, and then minus index, correct?
Correct.
Okay. 16.
All right. So yeah, that's important that you show up at 2:45 instead of like 3:30. That'll be too late. And it's very important. So please do the course evaluation if you have not done so. I'm urging you to do that again, one more time. Spend some time to do it because it's worth it. It will help me more than anybody else, actually. So as I mentioned that I want to be a best teacher, not just teacher. And so I need help, I need feedback. What is lacking in the lectures? Those slides actually I did not prepare. I actually got it from other professor. So I think in the next semester I will probably revise those slides, like PDF slides. Maybe we'll make PowerPoint slides. Takes a lot of time, but we'll do it slowly. So it's kind of like hands-on, practical kind of course. So it's more to attend the class and follow through the instruction. It's advisable. So it's my pleasure to learning with you, and you're my students forever. So anytime you need any help, anything, because I have pretty diverse background. As I mentioned before, so I got MBA in finance and accounting, and I'm actually tax accountant. So I have lots of experience in different areas. And I got a PhD in bioinformatics. So it's a lot of biological stuff as well. So DNA, RNA, those kind of protein, that kind of stuff. And I'm an entrepreneur as well. So I have business, I run business and startups. So a lot of different kind of knowledge. If you need help with anything, just feel free to contact me and I'll be there for you. Okay. So see you in the future courses. If I offer any advanced courses, hopefully I'll see you there. But next semester I'm teaching the same course, 2 sections, so there's no chance. But semester after that, I think next fall, I may teach again 651 or some other course. I don't know.
Professor,
Yep.
before we go, would you mind looking up my work just to make sure I did correct?
Don't worry about it. I'll look at it. I'll look at it.
Okay, let me share it right now.
In show me.
I can share the link right away.
You can't.
It is-
I have to allow you to share. Okay, share.
No, I think I just have the. My bad. Sorry, that one.
You can share now.
Oh, okay. Share. Which is screen 1. So about this one, like number of cats was 64 KB,
Mm-hmm.
and then block size was 32 bytes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I calculate the offset, that's like log 2 to the power 5.
Yeah.
And then my offset was 5, whereas my index is like log cat size by block. So I were able to get like 2 to the power 11.
So 64 divided with 32.
Since like
Yeah.
1000, and then like tag equal to 32 minus index minus offset equal to 16.
Yeah,
And
looks
then
good.
and then size of attack memory, like whatever I got here, like that's 2 to the power 11, just which you told me, plus like 32 plus 1 plus 16 tag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that looks correct.
All right. Thank you, Professor.
Anybody else see any problem here? Looks good, huh? All right, so with that, thank you so much. And hope that you'll have a great break after the exam and focus on your studies and keep in touch. All right, take care.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Take care.